G'day everyone and welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'm Nat, this is my Knackers Yard, and this is Sting, the CB400. I'm not really had a lot of time today. Mrs is still away, so I've been doing the dad stuff. So kitchen's all spick and span. I've done baking of rock cakes with my youngest, eaten rock cakes with my youngest, and we've just done hot chocolate. So yeah, that's them all sugared up. I've abandoned them to the house and I've hidden out here. So what am I going to do today? Well, first things first, let's just confirm that Sting's a good boy, or try. He says, tempting fate. Well, that's from cold. Sting's a good boy. He's a good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Awesome. Well, happy. It doesn't really need a lot. Doesn't need anything really, frankly. But what I am going to do is just whip bits off to clean. So I think the whole exhaust hanger bracket, etc., etc., is a bit ropey. So I'll take it off. I'll do them one at a time. So that way, if I get called off or grabbed by kids or whatever, it's not too much of a heartache. So I'll probably just show on film this one. Right, so what am I going to need? Well, I'm going to need my hex bolts, bit Del Boy-esque here. Probably going to need my impact driver, not quite Del Boy because I'm talking, and there we go, because how on earth, unless I showed you, how on earth would you know where all my tools come from? Hang on. I've not got any black gloves, I'm afraid. Right, so let's have a go at this then. So, what's holding this bad boy on? Well, the exhaust hanger's here. I'll talk some crap while I'm going, because I've started watching a lot more broadly now on the old channels, and I've got into the workshop. Ow. I really need a spanner set for the back of that. I've got into Skip's legs into the workshop, and Matt, the guy on there, is a Yorkshireman. So he says what he likes what he bloody well says. And he has some blinds like everybody else does on the street. So yeah, and he really rags into a lot of the stuff that Del Boy does. Now, don't get me wrong, that is nowhere near the exclusive content of his channel. The rest of his channel is, I mean, he's an engineer by trade, so it's really good detailed stuff, really good. Exposes my ignorance routinely, which I'm happy with. It's nice to learn, always good to learn new things, but him ribbing into some of the stuff that Del Boy does on his channel is just, frankly, for one, hilarious. I mean, let's not get away from it. It is entertaining, but actually, he's bang on. He's routinely bang on, and you know, I'm no expert. So, and I'll happily admit I'm no expert, and I'm finding my way around stuff routinely. But he's right. It does annoy when you get somebody who professes to be an expert at doing such a wanky job at times. But yeah, it's all interesting. But I mean, have a look. It's not for the faint of heart, not for people that don't like swearing, but it is just bloody hilarious. Right, let's get these brackets off. I might actually just whip that off because the brake line was going to need some support to get that off. Right, so what I intend to do here is just whip this off and try it. Oops. Try it with the old mothers and see how that gets on. And probably give these bolts a once over as well. I think they deserve it. Oops. Let's try not to lose them, of course, which would be a pisser. Right, big ones, top and bottom. That, remember that when you go to put it back. Always fun taking stuff apart and not remembering how it went. So that bracket was over there, happy. That is the return spring. And it is all onto the bottom bracket there, which is fine. I can do that. One. So remember this nut, skinny one onto the brake light, big fat boy one onto the bottom of this bracket. Happy. Don't really want to take all of that apart, so can I just whip that off? Probably not, because life is never quite that simple. Let me just sling that there, grab a scraping screwdriver. Sorry, light's a bit crap. There you go, that might be a bit better. That's a lot better. A pin under that? Looks like it. Don't want to leave that hanging too much, so I don't really want it ripping chunks out of the exhaust. That's a split pin that's been sprayed, bent out. I can just see myself whipping my fingers here. Forgive the bad cinematography. Come on, you little split pin bugger. Right. When in doubt, electric tools. Right. When in doubt, power tools. It's going to be a bit noisy here. My audio. My little radio mic thingy seems to have stopped, or my camera stopped picking it up. I just tried it then, so you're just straight off the camera at the moment. Yeah, I'll sort it for the next one. Let's just sit down in front of the telly and scratch my head a few times moment. There we go, just tickled that out a little bit. Being very careful, obviously, because I don't want to damage anything underneath it. I just want this bloody split pin out. Come on, you swine. Well, bugger me. That was a pain. Right, top tip from that, because I've learned from this. Whenever you do little bits of cutting like that, find your offcuts, because if you don't, your tyres will at some later point, I'm sure. Right, so, yeah, there. So how was that on? That was on like that. So that whole bolt is coming out. Yeah, that's fine. I understand that. And we're out. And we're off. And we're free. Right, so I might move you around a little bit to give you a better view of that in a second. But first things first. Alright, that was into the unit, that was into the unit, so first things first, I'm just going to drop these bolts back in because I am a bastard for losing them. Actually, there's a bit of copper grease on these, not a lot, but enough. Right, so let's have a quick look, and I'll pick you up and move you into slightly better light, I think. Right, so we have, so slightly better light, I think that's worse. There's bits that I'm not going to be able to do anything with, so the chrome that's split there, not going to do anything with. Not really going to do a great deal with that. Right, I'm just going to whip the pegs off. I won't film it because it's just more split pins that are going to annoy me. And then I think I'll take it inside and give it a good clean in the sink. Right, so there we go, that's it, stripped off. So the two pegs off. Now whenever you've got a sprung peg, like the rear pegs, so sprung, flip, so it's got two positions, 1, 2, it's generally done through basically a sprung mass and a ball bearing on the end. Just whenever you put it off, just be cautious, cover it up with your hand, wrap it in a cloth, whatever, because all too often you'll ping your little ball bearing away. I say little, in this case actually it's quite large, but you'll ping it across your carriage and never see the fucker again, or be on your hands and knees with a magnet. So yeah, just be a little bit cautious. Happy. Right, I'm going to take this in the kitchen and just give it a good dose down with just domestic cleaners. That's all it really needs before I start trying to get any sort of abrasive on there. But let's see what I can get off with just fairy liquid. Right, a little bit of a douche later, so still not great but better. Still not great but better. I'm not going to piss around on the back, it's not a restoration, I just want it a bit shinier. So I'm going to take them up over to Nick, my polisher, up here. I'm not going to use the polisher, I'm not going for a mirror finish. I am going to use my angle grinder, if I can ever find it, with the old felt pads on it, and I'll show you that in a second. But I just want to give them a quick go over on my what's left of my Scotch-Brite wheel. If anyone knows a cheap place of getting these, please let me know. They do seem ridiculously expensive for what they are. To the point where that one isn't even a proper one, I've just bodged it on. But anyway, I'm going to give them a quick whack over. Right then, I am a massive fan of this stuff, of Mother's aluminium polish. It's just bloody amazing stuff. So, dose it on. You know, in classic, don't be shy, your mother wasn't fashion. Really get it on. You'll notice that I am wearing a glove to do this. There's no caustic element of this at all. It's just because I'm a delicate soul and this stuff is really greasy and it's freaking horrible. So yeah, dose it all on. Really go to town on it. Just want a good coat on there for you to burn off in a minute. Right, so I go for cheapy felt pads. They're about 10 for about 7-8 quid. It's different angle grinder than I normally use. I try and use one for polishing and one for cutting, etc. Partly because I can't be asked taking the guard on and off all the time, and I don't like cutting without a guard. I do it. I'm not a complete health and safety Nazi nor guru. Ear defence is a must for me. Not saying you have to, but over the years, through various things, I have had some damage to my hearing. What? It's nothing permanent. Oh, it's nothing permanent. It's nothing bad. It's not a drama, it just means whenever I'm doing anything particularly loud I'm very careful. So, again, you don't have to. Right, I'm probably going to fast forward through this, but let's see how we go. Right, so a couple of minutes later, would have either fast forward or faded you out there. See, there's a few bits that I just can't really get to with an angle grinder. But what I do have are some little mops for my drill that I'll see if I can find. Alright, so found one. And just keep rolling off. Right, I just need to get some acetate just to get those last burnt bits off. And I think we're not far off. Right, let me go find some. I've run out of card cleaner, but I have found in my stash some rubbing alcohol, which can't remember what I bought it for, but it's doing a good job. Cleaning this off, it's getting the last of the mothers off that I haven't rubbed at, and any of the burn marks on it as well from where the pad's just gone a bit warm on again. It's steaming away, that's cool. Like that. Right, so where are we? It's not a mirror finish, but it's a pretty good one. And just as importantly, it wasn't intended to be a mirror finish. Rubbing alcohol and I sound drunk. Yeah, it's just better. That's all I was after. Right, let's just chuck that over there. Have a quick look at the pegs. Let's just give them a quick go, see if they'll get anywhere. Yuck, yuck, greasy shit, and I can't be asked to get another glove. Victim of my own laziness. Yuck. Minging. Minging shit. Where's my ear defence? I do sound like I'm preaching about these, but I've got quite a few friends with noise-induced hearing loss, and it's not clever or big or comfortable. And in fact, my brother suffers from tinnitus, a completely different source. He's a completely different body shape than me, body frame. He was a bouncer for many, many years, or a doorman, if you want to call it that. And just prolonged exposure to standing in front of massive speakers for years has really fucked him over. So yeah, don't have to do it, but I strongly advise you do. Alright, I think that angle grinder's on its way out. I've had it years. It is struggling with a fairly simple task. I really should have worn gloves completely, shouldn't I? Right, let's I've run out of blue roll, so let me grab some more kitchen roll. Now out of toilet roll, kitchen roll as well, so I'm resorting to bog roll. It's not perfect, but that's not what I'm after, nor should it be. And just a note on pegs, because they're possibly the best indicator when you're buying a bike If you've got a bike that's got pegs like that and has got 6,000 miles on it, run away. I mean, this has got, what, 56,000 kilometres, so what, 40-ish, 40-ish miles. Yeah, that's seen the distance. So, yeah, that's quite authentic. So, what am I trying to say? If I've got wear and tear on the top, this doesn't need to be polished like a mirror looking brilliant, because it's let down by that. I'm not going to change it. Right, that'll do. Let's start chucking this back together, and not forgetting, because a lot of people do, and it's a real waste of effort otherwise, if you've got something that's relatively shiny, don't just chuck crappy old bolts back onto it. So let's just give these a quick once over. And what I'm also going to do is, oops, sorry, and for those that haven't seen me do this sort of thing before, let's give it a quick dose of another product, a bit of Belgium alu, and it'll just seal in that shine a little bit. I mean, it's polishing itself, but it gives it a bit of a wax covering, and it'll help it preserve its shine a little bit longer. And there we go, all back mounted. Now, a few people have commented in the past saying, oh, it's really good of you to do this, Nat, and to video it and blah 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 blah. It's self-serving, I'm afraid, for everyone. I had to look back at my video to remember how to put it back together. So it's not completely altruistic. Yeah, look at that. Light still works, brake still works. All happy, yeah. So it does serve another purpose. Does it look fantastic? No. Does it look a lot better? Damn right. So let's compare that one to the one I haven't touched yet. Yeah, just take some age off it, really. There's nothing lying. It's not, you know, going for a big bully bullshit shine. But it's just better than it was. Right, I'm not going to film doing the other one. Exactly the same process. I might try and crack on and do it now. But that'll do me for this one. Nice low impact. I was hoping to put the pump in kit, but that hasn't rocked up, so that's irritating. So, you look forward. What's going to happen next? Hopefully, get a call that Kermit is all good. Swap them over at the MOT. See what happens. But yeah, love-hate relationship on this bike. I have loved to hate it. Now I'm just back to loving it. Awesome. Thanks very much all. Catch you later. Ta-da.